Shalom lekulam, bruchim habayim. Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Aaron, and today we are going to keep going with 3 more letters in the Hebrew alphabet. Last class, we were working on the first 2 letters of the alphabet and the vowel system in Hebrew. So, let's try and see if we remember how can we do this. I want us to try and match the letters on the left side to the correct sound that I wrote on the right side. Let's look at the first letter that we have here. Can you tell me what is this letter? So the letter is the letter Aleph, and just under it we can see the vowel for this letter. I remind you, if we have a minus or plus sign, those are the patach or kamatz pair, creating an A sound. So together with the Aleph, a throaty cut, we will get this A sound. And I can see this A sound hiding right about here. Let's look at the next one. The next one is also Aleph. And under it, I can see 1 dot. 1 dot under is the chirik. What sound will the chirik give me? The chirik give me the sound E, like saying the name of the letter E. So connected with the Aleph, it will go into a throaty cut with an E sound. So the letter Aleph with the chirik, E. Let's see what next do we have. So this is a new letter. This is the second letter that we learned. And can you tell me how should I read this letter? Small hint, the name of this letter might be vet or bet. And in this case, because I don't see the small ball inside of this letter, it's because I passed the ball around and I got the victory. So this is the letter vet, giving me the sound of a V, and not like bet, giving me the sound of a B. And under it, I again can see this plus sign. So this V will get an A next to it. So I can see over here a V sound. The next letter looks quite close to the V, but I do see the ball, the dagesh inside of the V, giving me a Ba sound. Paired up with the plus sign, again, the plus sign gives me an A sound. I will get the Ba sound. And almost finishing, I again have the vet paired up with the chirik together, creating the V sound. And last, 2 dots next to each other, paired up with the bet, will give me the B from the bet and the E from the 2 dots, together creating this B sound. Did you get it right? Tell me down in the comments. Now, after refreshing for a little bit, let's get to a new letter. The first letter of today is the letter Gimel. The letter Gimel looks a little bit like a giraffe. It has a really long neck and the legs are quite low toward the ground of the letter. The letter Gimel also gives me the sound of a G, the first consonant in its name, the G sound from Gimel. So let's say I want to use the letter Gimel and create this Ga sound. How can I do it? What should I add to the letter Gimel to create this Ga? If you said plus or minus, you will be correct. The patach or the kamatz will create the A in the Ga paired up with the Gimel. Go ahead, try thinking what should you do, creating this Gi sound, and even try writing it down yourself before I'm going to do it. So, to create the G in Gi, I will create the Gimel. To make it as an E sound, I will put one dot under, and as we said in the last class, I will do the chirik male, adding the small apostrophe, the yud next to it, creating this gi sound. How will I do it? To create the ge. So to create the ge, again, I will create a gimel, long neck, short legs, and like we did in the warm-up, I will add two dots under it. So it will be a ge sound. The e coming from the two dots next to each other. Lastly, I have the go. What should I do to create this go? When I say these two together, the go, my mouth is always almost pointing upward, creating this O next to it, like O in the word top. So the dot will also go on top, creating the cholam. And for us, we will do it with the letter Vav just next to it. So Gimel plus cholam male creates the go. Let's progress to a small exercise. Where can you spot the letter Gimel in these words? Pause the video and see if you can spot them. So I see the letter Gimel in number 1, but also in number 5. A small trap that you might saw is that in number 3, the first letter looks a little bit like the letter Gimel. But we do have a difference with these two. The letter Gimel has 2 legs, whereas this one is just one long line on the bottom side. So this is not the letter Gimel. How should we read the letter Gimel over here in number 1? I see the Gimel, and I know that it creates for me a G sound, and I see the plus sign telling me what? The plus sign telling me that this is an A paired up with a G. So if I want to read it, it will be a Ga sound. Let's go to number 5. How should I read it in number 5? Again, I see the letter Gimel. Over here, I already see the small apostrophe and the dot under, telling me that this Gimel should be paired out with saying the name of the letter E. So together, Gi. Can you spot another word that you are already able to read? By looking closely, I can see that the word in number 4 is actually being constructed only from Aleph and Bet. So if I try to read just the Aleph, I have a throaty cut and the minus sign under, creating an A sound. And then when I look at the second letter, I see the ball inside of the Bet, giving me a B sound. And I pair it up with the plus. So it will again be an A, creating the sound of Ba. The Aleph at the end is quite interesting. It doesn't have any vowels next to it. So actually it is just telling me I should have a clean cut to the word. So I will start with A, pair it up with Ba. Together, A, Ba. And this word is a word that we used last time. This is the word for dead, Abba. Okay, let's progress to the next letter. The next letter is the letter Dalet. The letter Dalet looks a little bit like a door frame. But the main feature that we have on the letter Dalet is that the letter actually has this small ponytail at the back. The letter Dalet will give me the consonant of D. So if I want to create this Da sound, for an example, how should I do it? So after the D from the Dalet, I see that I have an A connected to it. And for A, we need the plus or minus sign just under the letter Dalet. So in this case, I chose to use the Kamatz and not the Patach. By the way, if you want to use the same resources that I use in this video, You can find them on my Buy Me a Coffee page for free. So feel free to go there and download this resource. Let's continue. The next one that I want us to try and do is this D sound. What should I add to the letter Dalet to create this D? And maybe you already remember that for the E sound, I need to put one small dot under and the apostrophe next to it to create the חיריק מלא, to create this D sound. If you're struggling with the vowels, it's okay to open side by side this video together with the file from last class, and there you can find all of the vowels on the same page concentrated for you to try and work on these together with me. The next one is the D sound. What should I add to the letter Dalet to create this E sound? So for this, I might use the two dots next to each other or the triangle to create this triangle of dots standing on its tip. Lastly, I have this Do sound. What should I do to create this Do? What should I add to the letter Dalet to make an O sound? Do. In this time, again, I have the O like in the word top, so the dot is on top, and investing in our future, we will add in this Vav next to it, the pedestal holding the dot. Now, where can you find the letter Dalet in this group of words? I can see the letter Dalet over here in number 1, and I can see the letter Dalet in another place. The second place I can find the letter Dalet is over here in number 4. If you thought that this is the letter Dalet, then I want us to look at it a bit closer and to see that the letter Dalet is much longer than this one, and the neck that the Dalet is standing on is really straight and not as slanted. Okay, so let's continue, and let's see if we can actually read the whole word over here in number 1. So let's break it down to the letters. Over here, I see the dot inside of the vet or bet. What does it mean? And for us, the ball inside tells me that this is a B sound. And the triangle, if you're still not sure, I see the triangle over here in the D. So over here it will be a B sound. Let's look at the next letter. The next letter looks a little bit like a giraffe, giving me the sound of a G. And again, with the 3 dots, it will grant me an E sound. And the last letter, as promised, is the letter Dalet without any vowels. So without vowels, the letter will just create the consonant of it. So over here I have B, G, D. Let's make it a bit closer to each other. Beged. Beged. Try saying it out loud by yourself. Try slowly. Be, ge, d. Now let's try sticking it a bit closer. Beged. Can you recognize the letters in number 4? So when I look at it, what is the first letter I see over here? The letter is the letter Dalet that we just did. And I see under it the plus sign, giving me an A sound. So together these two will give me a D connected with an A. So Da. Let's go to the second letter, the letter Aleph. Letter Aleph will give me a throaty cut, and the minus sign again giving me an A. So it will be an A sound. And the last letter, the letter Gimel, giving me just the G from the giraffe, G. So if I connect these together, I have Da, A, G. A bit quicker, Da, Ag. So I actually have this Da, A at the beginning, da'ag. Let's progress to the last letter of today. The last letter is the letter Hey. Do you have a guess about what will be the consonant of the letter Hey? So, if you thought that it should be a ha sound or a h, you are correct. The way for us to pronounce the consonant of the letter Hey is to try and let out hot air from the top of our lips. So, if I create the sound when I pronounce consonants, I have three placements I might do it: at the back of my throat, at the middle of the mouth, or at my lips. The letter Hey, where do you think it should start? Back of our throat, middle of the mouth, or at our lips and teeth? Hey. So the letter Hey, pronounce and create the sound from the top side of the back of the mouth, going all the time from the back, releasing a lot of hot air out. So we can actually see that when we do it, it's like drawing our mouth and releasing and leaving place for the hot air to leave from the top. Hot air, Hey, giving me the sound of ha. So if I want to take the letter Hey and create this ha, what should I add to the letter Hey? So it will be like this. So the A, we already know, is giving us by the plus or minus sign, by the kamatz or the patach. So for ha, I will add a patach or kamatz. Now if I want to have an oo connected to the Hey, so I will have a who sound. What should I do? And in this case, my lips are going to the middle and out. So the dot will also be at the middle. And when the dot is at the middle, I connect it with the letter Vav, with the pedestal. So the dot is at the middle with the shuruk. So who will be Hey and the dot on the pedestal. But on the other hand, if I want a ho sound, so going high, ho, what should I do? I can already hear the O like in the word top, meaning the dot will be on top of the pedestal or on top of the letter with the cholam. Lastly, I want to have a he sound. What should I do? So for he, we have the dot under and the letter yud just next to it, creating the sound of he. Where can I find the letter Hey in the word over here? So I see it on number 2 and in another placement. The second placement is the word number 3. Can we read the Hey over here? How would you read it? So we know that the Hey creates for me the H sound, and the plus sign under create for me the A together, creating a ha sound. Can we read number 3? So I see again the Hey, and just under it this triangle. The Hey we know gives me the ha sound, but the triangle creating this A sound. So together it will be He. What is this second letter over here? The second letter is the letter Dalet. So when I pair it up, it will be He, D. Head, like the word for head in English. The meaning of this word is echo. Let's try and summarize a little bit. So over here we have 5 words in Hebrew and 5 phonetic helpers for us. Let's see if we can connect these into the correct ones from one side to another. So take yourself a few seconds, pause the video if you need, and try see if you can connect those correctly. If you're here, I assume that you want to try and see if you did it correctly or not. So I'm going to just go over it a little bit fast before finishing the video. So over here I have the letter bet connected with these 3 dots creating an A sound, the pyramid creating an A sound. So together it will be a B. Second letter is the letter Gimel. So I have B and G. Under it the same A sound. So I have A. Together B, G, and I have just the D at the end. Dalet. Beged. So when I look over here, I see beged just in number 2. So number 1 goes to number 2. Let's look at number 2 over here. The word starts with the letter Dalet, and under it I see the A. So together it will be Da. Afterward I see the letter Aleph giving me a throaty cut, and the minus sign creating this A sound. Lastly, I see the letter Gimel. So going top to bottom, Da, throaty cut, A, so Da, A, G. Over here I see Dag, not good for me. Gad, Gid, or Da, Ag, the Ag. So I think that number 2 goes to number 5. Let's see the next word. I have the Gimel, and I see the dot and the small apostrophe, telling me this is an E sound. Second letter that I have is the letter Dalet, together creating this Gid sound, Gid. And when I look between number 3 and number 4, I see that number 4 is exactly this, Gid sound. Let's see number 5. Number 5 starts with the letter Gimel, with the kamat creating an A, and being finished with the letter Dalet, Gad. And I can see over here, hold and behold, number 5 goes with number 3. So this is it about the letters for today. We learned 3 new letters. If you already downloaded the file and worked with it a little bit, you probably saw that you have lines in each one of the letters trying to create the letter with a vowel. For small homework you can do between this and the next video is to just fill in those lines with the correct letter and the correct vowel. I wish you good luck in your learning, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you next time, and until then,